Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I am running low on glasses, so I'm drinking out of this goblet thing. And I'm having cinnamon vodka and Minute Maid watermelon. Can't really call it juice. It's 5% juice. Flavored fruit drink with other natural flavors. You know. We're going to talk about when you give up on people. Because it's a topic that's, kind of running through my head right now. Before I dip into that, let me, of course, remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets. Or, one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. So, I'm giving you an opportunity to do something for the world for free. I suggest you take it. Anyway, when do you give up on people? This is good. It really is. Strange, but... Anyway. So, as I say, in my life there have been a lot of occasions where I had to give up on people. One of them being my own father and my grandmother. And every member of my family, for that matter, because, well, they suffered from what we call the self-fulfilling prophecy. They believed I was useless, and they were right, because believing I was useless, they refused to help me, and whenever I needed help, they always came up short. At the end of the day, any help they would give me was just not worth it, so I gave up on them. Shortly thereafter, I gave up on a lot of my friends. And so in that vein, you ask yourself, when is it appropriate to give up on someone? Now, I have a lot of friends on Facebook, and most of them don't count. I try to communicate with them. I think if I waited 20 years, maybe one of them would send me a message. I mostly message them. I don't get out much. I kind of am always working. And one of the things I've always said I would do is if I made a lot of money, I would hire my friends to help them out. I mean, there are jobs that I would need done if I were successful on YouTube. I would need a cameraman to follow me around when I did things. It's just one of those things. That's what successful YouTubers do. And, but I have some friends where it's like every time I suggest we spend some time together or do something together, they flake out. And at a certain point you ask yourself, maybe I should just give up. I've gotten into a lot of situations where my friends just proved to be not worth spending time with. And I mean, I've got a lot of friends that I don't call them up because they're broke. It's like, why would you be like, hey man, let's go grab lunch or something if they're broke? You're just making them pay for something they don't need or want. And they, of course, never call me. And it's like some of them are rather far away. And it's like, the next time I find an interesting spirit at the discount store, I'd like to, instead of just buying one of them, buy 2 or 3. Then have a party with my friends and be like, okay, we're all going to try Soboyeski cinnamon vodka and see what we think of it. And, that sounds like a really fun thing to do. Except for the fact that between me and doing that, there's at least $100,000. At least if I'm having these parties at my house, because the place needs renovation, and I don't have the money, It's not like, oh, you can slow. It's like, no, I have this huge problem deal with huge problem before. Still working on problem. Still working on problem. No, we're working on it. Everything else is secondary. This is a funny feeling. Getting ice on my nose. Oh, gross, a gnat on my ice. Well, those little black flies flew under the ice cube. Gross, man. Anyway. In the Bible, apparently, I'm not dead sure on this. I spoke to a preacher once. And it said, basically you should always forgive people. Also that there was a limit to how many times you should forgive people. And what it comes down to is, if somebody does something wrong to you and they seem legitimately sorry, you should probably forgive them. If they don't seem legitimately sorry, you shouldn't. But what do you do in a case where it's like you want somebody to do something and they won't do it? That's where I am right now. And I'm coming down to, I'm trying to have a phone conversation with this person and say, look, I'm not going to keep bringing this up. Either you're going to do it or you're not. I don't know why it's not been done. And there's an airplane. And it doesn't really matter why it's not been done. The question is, will it ever be done? And I'm surprised at how often this happens. Anyway. So I'm getting to the point where I think I'm going to give it 24 hours at this point. I've invited this person to call me. They've given me a couple excuses. If they don't, I'm just going to give up. It's not worth me continuing to have this conversation with people. I've never been good at letting people into my life. And generally because every time I let someone into my life, they tend to not behave that great. This is why some people become hermits. Anyway, thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard. Hi everybody, I'm Danger Ducky, and this is the part of the video where I remind you to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm also giving time for there to be links to the next video and subscriptions. You should comment, like, and subscribe, because for every 1,000 subscribers, this channel will buy a bracelet from For Ocean, and that will pull a pound of trash out of the ocean. It's a big ocean and there's a lot of trash there. We also buy medals from the Conqueror, and every one of those means that 5 trees are planted, so that we will have a cleaner world for you and me to live in. Danger Donkey says, be a good Samaritan, float like a butterfly, and comment, like, and subscribe!